Flyers at 50 with Brodes normally happens at 3:30. You know what Baldy said? Baldy said, I'm sick of Brodes. If I move my call to 3:30, maybe they won't have Brodes. Brodes is standing outside the studio licking the glass, waiting to come in.
Why was I licking the glass?
Well, I don't know.
That's what hockey players do.
Yeah, you guys. You guys are animals.
Well, that's true.
Dude, you came in here so fired up last week. I imagine that it's not the same sort of fired up.
No, I had my jersey on backwards to try and get us out of this slump. They haven't won since I walked in here all fired up, gloves ready to get dropped. Yep. They haven't won. We need a slump buster. That's what we need. You know, picture back in your college days and you're struggling to get the how do you do?
Okay.
And you got to go to the bar and sneak in a 2 out of 10 just to get the guys going again. We need something like that for the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just go on record. That didn't happen in my college.
I didn't need the. I didn't need the. I didn't need any of that either. I'm just saying, hypothetically, I think people can relate.
You know who was a slump buster?
Who's
Me.
that?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Do you guys remember the Edmonton lady? The Edmonton, she's my player of the week here, my grinder of the week, if we're still doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so down bad that I printed out a picture of this lady. Now, keep in mind, 2024 Edmonton Oilers went to the Cup, right? This lady in the Western Conference Finals decided, here's my breastises. Yeah. And then she went at the game, just full throttle. Here's my chest. Hey, fellas, have at it. They went to the Cup. So I'm calling for our version of we need the Flyers to get to the Cup.
So pull up your shirt, bro.
Well, I can do that. Right?
Speaking of Cup, what are we looking at there? B, C?
There we go.
There it is, baby. There it is. They were nice, but we
is.
need our version. Like, we need somebody to step up to the plate and say, you know what, damn it, the Flyers need a Cup. Because it's not going to be Jalen this year, unfortunately.
Hit the thing, then we'll get to that.
Flyers in 50 with Brodes.
Oh, man. Winless 0-2-1 Toronto. You can't score on the power play. This power play sucks. It sucks. We're talking like a 14-15% clip. How did it get worse? Work a damn overload. Get an umbrella going. Move the puck and take a one-timer. It's ridiculous. You're allowing short-handed goals to Scott Lawton. And then don't even get me started on the backup goaltender. Sam Ersson cracked. Okay, he came in here with the goalie competition with Vladar. Vladar takes it, full head of steam, just snags it, and this guy can't stop a puck to save his life. He pulled a Carson Wentz. He was smelling Jalen Hurts, couldn't throw a football. Same applies here with Ersson. That Saturday effort against Tampa Bay was disgusting. And Mitchkov, by the way, I know you guys are keeping up. He's got 1 goal in 2 months, and it was an empty netter. 1 goal. He hasn't scored a goal since December started, and it was an empty net goal. That's where we're at with Matt May. Anyway,
dude, how does that happen?
He's not playing well. Not playing well.
Not happy. That's what happens when everybody comes down on the young fella.
Whoa, hold on a second.
Instead of lifting him up.
Well, it's his fault. He was in Dubai.
People calling, like you calling him fat.
Oh, me. Well, maybe he needs the slump buster. You know, get in and go to South Philadelphia, visit Center City.
I don't think he has a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too much. Maybe too much slump busting.
Yes.
Huh? Okay.
He maybe needs to go into a slump.
Yeah. Well, I just man, this team, I was so happy. I was so excited.
Okay,
you know,
Brodes.
what?
I'm going to turn this into a therapy session.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please.
So, nobody has experience with a rebuilding team like me.
True.
Right?
Yep.
I have the experience. The key is you cannot start to believe that you're there before you're there.
Okay.
You have to, I hate to use this phrase, you do have to trust the process. And what happens is when you start having that success, right? All of a sudden you think you're there and you start believing in it, you forget where you started that year. Whatever idea you had, I want you to put yourself, Brodes, back into where your mindset was before the season started. That mindset has to stay the whole year. What are you expecting the whole year? Now, that doesn't mean that when they have a great game, you can't be excited, But the minute you start believing that they're further along than they actually are is when you start getting mad. Expectation, thief of joy in this. You need to just... What was the goal? Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm. That was a Jalenism.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure was. Sure was.
Yes, got it. That is December 22nd, proverb of the day. Is like the goal for this year was what? Become respectable? Like, what was the goal for this year?
That's a good question. You know what? This is going to be a horrible answer because
What?
it's not working. But it was about Matvey Michkov in his
Yeah.
sophomore year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big part of this was Matvey Michkov in his second season. He led all rookies in goals last year, and now in a month and a half span, he's got an empty net goal. That's almost unfathomable. Yeah. It really hasn't even hit me since I said it, the last 3 times I just mentioned it. It's like, he has one empty net goal in like a month and a half.
It would be like next year in a month and a half, VJ Edgecombe not having a 20-point game in a month and a half. That's sort of what that feels like.
I'm with you there. So who do you blame more of this on? Him?
Yes. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people that are yelling at Tocchet for time on ice and things of that nature, but he really did half-ass the offseason so much, and I can't blame anybody but him.
I know, but we're past the offseason now.
You're right.
Are they still punishing him for that?
There might be a little bit. We got
to have adults in the room.
Okay.
Though. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's fair.
At some point, this kid, we are supposed to be building him up because we want him to be a part of the future. Now, unless you're telling me that he's not the player you thought he was going to be, he's immature, and you need to get him out of the locker room because you're better off without him than with him. If you don't feel that way, at some point you got to start reinvesting in him. Okay, we tore him down. We ostracized him. He didn't handle the offseason well, a little bit too much partying. At some point, you got to put your arm around him and start to reel him back into this thing because we're going to need him ultimately.
Right.
But what I would wonder is it's hard to get better during the year. You got to get better in the offseason. Mm-hmm. And if he didn't work on getting better in the offseason,
right,
and maybe even regressed physically, it's just hard to catch up during the year. That's what I worry about.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. There is enough natural talent there that it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I understand he's not a finished product, but him sitting on in the box is not helping either.
Right.
Him moping isn't helping. Then you think about a young player who probably came into this thing thinking that he's the face of the franchise and he's going to be celebrated and lifted up. He's going to get to go out there and do his thing.
And now Zegras is.
Yes.
Zegras is almost the face of this. I wonder how he's internalizing it.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying at some point we got to build him back up to get out of him what we think is in there.
Jack, standing ovation for Matvey Michkov. What do you think?
Out of the game.
Why? Go out of the game. The one time I need you. You text me a whole script of why Jalen sucks. I need you to help me out with my hockey team, and I got nothing?
Well, hold on. We did talk about maybe doing a Flyers night.
Yeah.
The show Flyers night, 50 of our people.
Hold on a second. I can see his face. You guys are messing with me.
No,
we're not.
We're not serious.
No, we want to.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
You guys aren't going to show up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we're going to show up.
Yeah.
With a bunch of friends.
We were going to let you know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna surprise you.
You can buy a separate ticket, obviously.
No, come on. No, hold on. Now I'm all excited. This is unbelievable. I don't know if you guys are messing. I can't trust you guys anymore. I have no clue.
We're serious.
We just talked about it 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Serious.
Wow. Right.
We do a Flyers night out with the afternoon show.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So am I a part of the afternoon show?
Well,
Well, you're
I
part of
said
Flyers
separate
night.
ticket.
Hold on. You said it's Flyers night with the afternoon show, and if I happen to be associated with that night,
There,
then
congratulations.
by
Call the
technicality-
guy. Call the guy from the Philly Journal.
by
It's a business journal. You made it. You made it.
I'm getting pretty close.
You made it. You
getting
made
pretty
it.
close.
So, I was told that we would be fine in the first round of the playoffs because all the quarterback does is win.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
They're down 4 points. 2 minutes, 57 seconds left. Ball in his hand. First and 10 from the 21. One, he can't get out of the backfield with a wide open field in front of him, gets sacked. Another one throws a bad pass to Devontae Smith, then throws to Dallas Goedert in the middle of 3 defenders.
Devontae,
I mean,
Threw one away.
yeah.
Well, there was nothing.
Oh,
There was
nothing
nothing open. Kevin Patullo's the
He
problem.
left the pocket.
Well, there was nothing open.
People were open.
Kevin Patullo stinks. It starts there.
I just know.
Stinks.
I just know there were 2 quarterbacks on the field on Sunday.
One had Kyle Shanahan.
One didn't, and one was thrown to Kyle
Right,
Bruchek or
that
whatever the hell his
shows
name
you
is.
how dominant an electric scheme can be. While I'm watching Mr. Pick his nose on the sidelines doing nothing. Kevin Patullo's ass.
Look, he had a choice. Throw it to the guy with one guy on him on the outside.
Well, AJ wasn't competing all day. He wasn't competing all day. I can't wait. Listen, I got 3 shows coming up tomorrow, the next day, 3 ways to save Jalen. I'm going to reveal one every single show. It's going to be must-listen radio.
Wow.
3 ways to save Jalen. Starts tonight at 11 o'clock.
It sounds like you almost let one of them out a minute just a second.
Well, that's a big one. I mean, obviously, yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. And KP stinks. We need a real guy in here. We need a football guy.
No, who's he going to get fired next year?
No. He's going to get... Actually, whoever's coming in here is going to be the next head coach because that's the way this goes.
Oh, it's everybody's fault.
Let me ask you this. You're an OC.
Jalen protectionism.
Oh, yep,
there
that's
it
right.
is. Everybody's fault but Jalen.
You're an OC. Go ahead,
please
Jack.
lay this out, Brodes. I saw that your nauseating video
Thank
about.
you.
Yeah, lay this one out for the people.
Okay.
Well, lay what out?
I know what you're going to lay out.
What?
Yeah, you're going to lay out. Oh, offensive coordinators are lining up to work with this.
You're damn right. My question was going to be. Good job. You did. You absolutely read my mind. If you're an OC and you're looking around and you go, hold on a second, I get to work with Jalen Hurts. They're going to be doing some backflips nude, getting pumped up.
Can you imagine?
I actually said it was the helicopter. They get nude and do the helicopter. They're so excited.
I can imagine. You're Mike McDaniel.
It's a nice move, the helicopter.
You're sitting in your home office, daydreaming about, I wanted a quarterback who's going to call me the OC and not by my name. I want someone who I can blame when I don't feel like running. If I could just go with that one guy who refuses to throw the ball at 60% of the field, that is the guy I want to work with.
Gets him a head coaching job.
And then when it doesn't work, I get my house egged and get fired.
Well, that didn't happen to Brian Johnson. So KP's, but I don't know what's going on with KP.
We'll see. So
I'll tell you what, if Mike McDaniel, I don't know how, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, how does he not look at Detroit's offense and say, that's where I want to be?
A billion, zillion, trillion %.
I don't know.
This is not, look, I have Jared Goff.
Well, especially for what Mike McDaniel wants to do. Jared Goff would fit it perfectly.
Yeah, I have Goff and Hurts on the same basic level. It's not that I think Jared Goff is better than Jalen, but if I'm Mike McDaniel, has an offense all on timing, a lot throwing in the middle of the field, a bunch of motion and play action, I could go with a guy who does that and has done that and executed Ben Johnson's offense to perfection to 33 points a game. Or I can go to a guy that just led an offense for 23 points a game, and those are all his weaknesses. I can't see. I would be shocked if Mike McDaniel came here, and I do truly believe if Mike McDaniel came here, it would signal what they think of the future of that quarterback.
Really? I really don't. Because I was, all jokes aside, obviously, I love Jalen. But, do you think Howie is really thinking we have a potential quarterback problem? Because I don't know if he is. I really don't think he believes that he has a quarterback problem. If I'm Howie, what I am thinking is I have backup plans. Because if I'm Howie, I'm saying, okay, we're going to bring in another OC here. And if this doesn't work with all the money I've spent on offense, because remember, we're talking about paying guys on the defense in the future. Hasn't happened yet. We have a cheap defense and an expensive offense. And unless I believe, and I believe in the offensive line is going to get healthy, I believe in AJ, I believe in Devontae, and he must be thinking, maybe not right ahead of him, but 2 steps ahead. He's thinking, if this doesn't work, I'm going to need to figure something out. So I would say I feel he's probably going, this will work, not if this works. Like, I believe that he feels he's going to do something with the offensive coordinator in this offseason to pick up a Brian Dable, a McDaniel, whatever, and this will work.
Can't do that in that job.
Well, why not?
Because your job as Howie Roseman is to plan on what happens if this doesn't work. That's why you get good backup quarterbacks. That's why you get good backup players. That's why you have a list of, let me tell you this, if you're Howie Roseman, you have a list of head coach candidates, you have a list of OCs, you have a list of DCs. If Vic Fangio
so that's not
comes to your list,
Jalen related. That's just everything related.
That's part of the job.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But
all right, that's different.
That's part of Howie's job.
But they will have to make a decision on him on a contract. And so it becomes, I just think it becomes more pressing for that. the truth is that quarterbacks don't grow on trees, right? So it's not a decision he could make willy-nilly, but he has to plan ahead because he has to think about if I'm not making this, if this isn't working for me, a quarterback is something that you need a plan for. It doesn't just fall into your lap.
No, you're right.
Honestly, that's what he did with Jalen and Carson to an extent.
He did.
You know?
No, he did. No, you might be right. I'm just not even close to thinking Jalen can't do what everyone says he can't do, considering you don't accidentally go to Super Bowls. You just don't. You don't accidentally.
In his case, you do.
See what I'm saying? Why
in his case, you 100%
just don't.
do.
You see how hard it is to get there once, let alone be in two and ball out both times. Like, you don't accidentally do that.
The Eagles make no sense. I don't know what to tell you. They break your sports brain every single year.
That might be fair. That might be fair.
The last thing is that saying that he can win another Super Bowl because he won a Super Bowl, could he? Yes.
We said that about Aaron Rodgers for the last 15 years.
The question becomes, is it my easiest path? Is it the most likely path? Not could he. Sure you can. They did. But the fact that they did doesn't mean necessarily that is the best plan to do it again. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl in Seattle. They never won another Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. Like, just because you did doesn't mean that it is your best path to do it again. So the plan to save Jalen starts tonight at 11 o'clock?
Yes.
A 3-point plan.
3 ways to save Jalen, yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Can't wait to see your annoying videos.
Maybe a couple graphics. Yeah, well, I don't stop, dude. I don't sleep. I don't stop. I yell 24/7.
You're a hustler. Well, there's only one way that you can boot me out of this show, and that is hustling. So
looks like I'm on my way then.
Yeah, you are. All right, there he is, the great Brodes.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Brodes.